Welcome to page 18 of your probability packet. We are working on Activity C, comparing values. Today, we're going to be comparing fractions, which can be difficult because the fractions we compare will not have common denominators, such as the first problem where we're comparing thirds to tenths. So there's a solution to working with these types of fractions. You will need a calculator and a pencil to complete your work. Make sure you take down all the notes and show your work as you go along. Let's start with letter G. Which is the greatest value? 1/3 or 3/10? Difficult to compare when they have different denominators. What's our strategy? We're going to convert to decimal form. Remember, this means divide. So we're going to take 1 divided by 3 and get its decimal equivalent, and 3 divided by 10 and get its decimal equivalent. Pause the video and divide each. For number 1, you should have gotten 0.333 repeating. Put down several 3's followed by ... That's a repeating decimal. And for number 2, you should have gotten 0.3. Now that decimal terminates. That's a terminating decimal. But in order to make the comparison a little bit easier, it's always nice to add zeros to the terminating value. We can add as many zeros as needed. So we can compare our first value to our second value. Making them look more alike is so helpful when it comes to making the comparison. So adding those zeros really helps. Clearly you can see as you compare, number 1 is the bigger value. Let's move on to letter H. In letter H it states, which is the greatest value? 5/11, and we're going to divide 5 divided by 11, or 1/2. And we're going to divide, if you don't already have its decimal equivalent memorized, we're going to divide 1 divided by 2. Pause the video and punch in the division problems to your calculator. You should have gotten 0.4545 repeating. That's, of course, a repeating decimal. And here you get the terminating decimal 0.5. So let's add some zeros and make the two values look a bit more alike. Clearly, number 2 is the larger value. Now complete the last one on your own. When you're ready, turn the video back on and check your work. Please pause right now. Both of these are repeating decimals. Clearly, as we make the comparison, we can see that number 2, 2/11, is the larger value. This concludes Warm-Up Activity C on page 18.